Welcome back to On a Journey with G. I'm your host. I'm so excited to be back, y'all. I'm so excited to just tap back in. I've been moving into my house. I've been getting adjusted. I've had so much happen, y'all. My house flooded. Can you believe that? But God worked it through. God had it all laid out and allowed me to get everything done that I needed to get done. I'm back in my house. I'm back ready to record, and I'm just here. I have a great series upon us, and I can't wait to share that. Y'all, what we're doing today, we're going to be talking about something that nobody talks about, and that's going to be talking about survival mode. We're going to be talking about healing and how everybody talks about it's so peaceful, but the fact of the matter is that it is uncomfortable, it is emotional, and it's confusing. If you're like me or have been like me, you might be feeling off, you might be feeling more aware of your emotions or reacting differently. And the fact of that is that you are learning to leave survival mode. And that's what we're going to be talking about today on the show. I want to talk about why healing can feel uncomfortable and what it looks like to move from reacting to regulating. Y'all, this is a journey and this one I've been on. That's why I kind of been MIA minus the things I just talked about because I really have been unlearning a lot of things in my life and I'm healing and I am becoming a new me and I'm understanding the person I am becoming. I'm going to talk a little bit about what is survivor mode. I am a licensed social worker and I want to give you a definition. Survivor mode is your nervous system trying to protect you. That's when you fight, you freeze, or you flee. And it's often because you have come from trauma or an unstable environment or relationship. You have emotional neglect. And it's just the fact that your brain is not trying to ruin your life, like at all. It's not. But what it is trying to do is to protect you from pain it believes might happen. So it's experienced all these things because you might be in traumatic or instability. But how it shows up, it might look like overthinking, people pleasing, hyper independence, INDEPEND. I can do everything by myself. You might emotionally shut down, or you might react quickly instead of responding. Have you been there? I've definitely been there. And these are things that you might experience when you react. But when you're regulating and you start that journey of healing, your nervous system has to adjust because it's been used to doing and reacting so long. It has to adjust. So the way that you adjust to regulating is to learn how to start pausing before you react. You have to know your triggers. What gets you upset? Notice that and then sit with them instead of avoiding them. You're going to have to respond differently in friendships, like work environments, relationships in general, how you interact with people, how you communicate. You're going to have to respond differently, and that's going to be hard. It's going to be discomfortable, but it doesn't mean that you're not healing or you're doing it wrong. But what it means is that your nervous system is learning something new. So with that, that's where the uncomfortableness comes. And before you fully heal, you're going to feel uncomfortableness, but the peace is going to come because the more you practice it, the more you're aware, the more you identify, the more support you have in it, that peace will come. And that's what I've noticed on my own journey. I've learned how to have emotional regulation. I've learned not to match people's energy. I've learned to pause instead of reacting immediately. And that's something that I've not always done. I've been an overthinking thinker. I've pleased. I've been hyper independent. I've done them all. I've reacted very quickly. Impulsivity is the G. But I've learned that that version of me is not who I want to be. And that's what healing has taught me, to pause, to think, to ask questions. And that's where growth has really happened with me. Have I liked everything that I've asked questions, the feedback? No. It's felt uncomfortable. But with growth, sometimes it feels like grief. And that's because you are letting go of patterns that once protected you. but might now be hindering you. So, as we are starting this new series of releasing survival, I really just want to encourage you. If your healing feels uncomfortable right now, it doesn't mean you're failing. You are leaving survival mode, and that's what it means. And as we continue this series on the next episode, I want to talk to you more about what emotional regulation looks like and how we retrain our brains to respond instead of react. I'm so excited to be back. I can't wait to see you in the comments. For me, the hardest part of healing one definitely has been my emotional regulation. So that was back for a commercial break. But yeah, so the hardest part of, healing has been understanding my emotional regulation and just really adjusting to it, understanding how to do it, pausing. For me, receiving feedback, it's not been hard, but the part that's been hard is like I conceptualize it, I ingest it, and I'm like, okay, that's me. But really, when somebody is telling me something, it's not like, oh, you're bad. So, like, I have somebody to ask me questions about why I do stuff or make me aware of things that I do. And they're not like saying you're bad. What they're saying is like, Giselle, I've noticed this about you. And, I have the opportunity then to be like, okay, I'm going to receive this or I'm not. And when I say that, it's like for me, regulating myself has been like, okay, Giselle, like pause, sit with this, understand why you do this, and understand that this is you or this is something that you want to let go. So emotional regulation has been, something that's been a challenge for me. Another thing, like I just mentioned, overthinking. Honestly, pausing before reacting has probably been the easiest. I've had times where I've reacted. I'm not going to sit here and say I haven't, but I've definitely had times where I've like been like, all right, Giselle, pause. And that's where I've learned different coping skills through emotional regulation. Definitely let go of my hyper independence in my healing because I've gotten to the point where, like, on this journey, I've gotten so like beat up on myself to where it's brought me to moments of sadness. And that's just not me. And so I've really had to lean on support and ask for help. But yeah, I can't wait to tune in and tap into those. This is a whole series. We're going to be talking about emotional regulation, different coping skills. We're going to look at attachments. We're going to look at just this journey of healing. And I'm going to bring a social work lens. I'm going to bring back guests. I can't wait for that. But yeah, I'm here. I'm adjusting to my new environment, stability, adjusting to, who I am and who I'm becoming. And I cannot wait to just go and continue this journey with you. Keep me consistent. The fitness is still there. Make sure you go to the page, check out some stuff that I've been doing fitness wise and nutritionally. But yeah, just stay tuned. Comment below anything that you want to see on the show. I'm here. We're in this journey together. But I always am saying that you define your destiny, and I believe that. And I want you to keep defining it and remember that you can always adjust it. Don't just be stuck on one definition. Know that you can adjust it. And that's something that I've learned in this season, in this past season. So thank you so much for tuning in. And until next time, you know what I always like to say: peace, love, and happiness.